We've been hearing a lot less about Johnny Depp lately than we would like. And not in the sense that it would be good if their story of cyber continued. No, of course they closed this page, and that's great, but it's just that almost 2 years have passed since the Virginia court put the final point, and Johnny Depp restored his good name. Many were sure that immediately after that the Hollywood star would restore his career, or even shine more than before. Moreover, already closer to the denouement of the story, large studios like Warner Brothers or Disney began to make unambiguous hints that they would not mind extending cooperation with the actor, but they were there. Johnny did not even come close to returning to his former filming activity, and it seems only now we finally understand why. And it's not just and not so much that the actor doesn't want all this hype anymore. No, everything is much more interesting here, and after what you learn, I think you will respect old Depp even more. And this means that you need to not be stingy to like in support of the Hollywood legend. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet, and also look into our cart, it's always interesting there. Well, let's get started. So, we don't know for sure whether Johnny Depp 5 has returned to conquer Hollywood, as multiple publications write. But at least his rhetoric has again, after a long pause, so to speak, turned towards big studios and big films. That's just there is one most significant, but in this everything. After all, in his recent interview, the actor took and criticized Hollywood executives to the nines, accusing them of creating low-quality films. Johnny Depp has decided to stay out of the public eye in recent months, but now suddenly the actor has shown that, no matter what, he is not afraid to annoy the big shots in Hollywood, accusing studio executives of doing shit that the audience is already tired of. Then a few quotes. By and large, for most of the years I wandered aimlessly, talking to people, and they really want the same thing, Johnny Depp said during an interview with the publication of The Master. They don't want to be fed rubbish, they are happy when they experience something new or unusual. That's why I've always felt that as an actor it's my responsibility. When you walk out of the gate every time, you put as much at stake as anyone else. They are disposable, and they understand it, Johnny continued, talking about modern films. Renowned accountants are those who have the opportunity to push the green light and shoot studio films. But they push the green light and spend a lot of money. The budgets of these films are ridiculous and exorbitant, some kind of romantic comedy with two very popular people. And people, the audience, real people are already tired of it all, the actor says. Well, although some have already retorted DAPA, they say, yes, it should be noted that romantic comedies with fairly high budgets are not something new, but even at the highest price, they do not come close to the money that was spent on some Johnny Depp films, such as Pirates of the Caribbean. However, we understand that John didn't mean something completely different. He was obviously talking about how Hollywood has been spending its money lately. About a complete obsession with empty, purely commercial films and franchises that will exploit the same topic for the rest of their days, just hoping to squeeze out a little more profit. Although this is getting worse and worse for filmmakers, it is not surprising when prices for everything are only growing. A person will think 100 times whether to go to another empty movie. Perhaps instead, it is better to spend your hard-earned money on something useful, such as new gadgets, which are also not getting cheaper. And even vice versa. For example, iPhone, MacBook, PlayStation have long been a real luxury for the average person. And to get such devices, and at the same time save your money, you only need a couple of actions. Go to the crazy box, choose and open the surprise box that suits you and pick up from it what you could buy in the store. But pay 10 times less. At the moment, this is the best online store of surprise boxes, where really everyone can win something valuable. Opening a surprise box, you will be left with a prize in any case. For example, it can be a gaming mouse for $3K, and if you're lucky, then a MacBook, iPhone, or even a PlayStation. What kind of prize you get depends only on you, because there is an opportunity to increase the chance of getting the desired prize. Don't know where to start? Open a free box, but don't count on something grandiose, because it's free. And if you want to win something really valuable, then it works like this. Top up your balance with promo codes, which gives you plus 100% of the money. Choose the box you need, increasing the chance of falling out, and open it. If you don't like the prize, sell it back to the site, and open the boxes until you win what you want. Then, filling in the delivery address, order the parcel, and wait for the notification from the mail. It will come very soon. There are a lot of boxes on the site. You can make a surprise both for yourself and for your friend or girlfriend. In general, I won't drag it out for a long time. Follow the link in the description, open the surprise box, and take your valuable prize. Well, we are going to the video, and what can I say? Yes, we hope that the current state of things and awareness of the current situation will lead to a more creative approach in the future. But as forged, it seems he doesn't really believe in all this anymore. It is for this reason that, first of all, the actor paused in his relationship with the big cinema. Big not in terms of its significance or cultural value, but in terms of budgets or audience reach. After all, at one time, Johnny Depp could fairly be called one of the biggest names in Hollywood. He has led franchises such as Pirates of the Caribbean or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Well, to be honest, it seems that after all this history of Samber and the simply disgusting behavior of Hollywood giants like the Warners and Disney, now the actor has had a complete reassessment of values. However, this does not mean that Johnny Depp gave up acting entirely. No, of course, he continued to work on European projects such as Minamata or Jean Dubarry, but this break with Hollywood may be a clear sign that the old studio system completely disgusted Depp, and now he is looking for something. Maybe not so much commercial mass, but something with a more international accent on films that potentially present more freedom to actors. At the same time, the famous accountants, as the Depp called the big bosses of Hollywood, with their incredibly inflated budgets and feeding the audience with sewage, alas, will not go anywhere in the near future either. But apparently the Depp decided not to participate in all this farce anymore, even though it would promise him a lot of money. However, even considering that the Depp is right, that the costs of blockbusters have recently been greatly, simply prohibitively inflated, it is worth recognizing that only these famous accountants in quotes can bring to life high-budget films that will attract the attention of a wide audience. This should also be understood. But as I understand it, now Depp is trying to convey to everyone, both viewers and people from the industry, that this scheme is far from perfect and that people in the industry should look for a balance and urgently change something. As a matter of fact, the actor himself has been looking for him throughout his career. After all, you will agree that in addition to unambiguously large billion-dollar franchises, and although in fact it was only one in his career, other Depp films are certainly not about super popcorn movies, not to mention what he is doing now. As for Johnny's biggest contractors, the Warner Brothers studio and Disney, who, of course, behaved just beastly towards the actor. Depp said that they were working with scoundrels, which, as for me, threw a pretty clear challenge to the big Hollywood boss. Of course, you know, I mean, when you're asked to give up a movie you're making because of something that's just a bunch of vowels and consonants floating in the air, yes, you feel a little boycotted, Johnny Depp said, clearly referring to Pirates of the Caribbean. When he was asked about his attitude to Hollywood, I don't feel boycotted now because I don't think about Hollywood. I don't feel a special need for Hollywood. I don't know about you, Johnny summed up, adding that maybe people just stopped calling him because of their fear at that time. But I didn't go anywhere, and now I wish them all the best and hope that you approve of this idea, the actor added, continuing that he no longer intends to dance to someone else's tune and constantly bend under someone or something. This is a very strange and funny time when everyone would like to be with themselves, but they can't, because they have to match who is in front of them, Depp said. If you want to follow this line, good luck to you, and I will be on the other side, the actor said. Well, as for me, this is more than unambiguous, but by the way, as for Johnny, it seems that not everyone likes his whole resolute position, and let's just say that publications close to Hollywood, how can they try to infringe on the actor or sting more painfully, obviously with the filing of their patrons or investors. For example, you all know the movie The Favorite or Madame du Barras by Depp and the French actress and director Maven in the main roles. But not everyone knows that soon after the release of this film, articles appeared in many pretty solid English-language publications, where Johnny Maven's partner, well, to put it mildly, does not speak very flatteringly about him. Here's a quote. According to The Independent, Maven called the Depot strange. I have to be honest, it's hard to work with him. The whole film crew was scared because he has a different type of humor, and we didn't know if he would come on time, and if he would be able to say his lines, says Maven in an interview with The Independent. I mean, even if he was on set on time, the crew was afraid of him. She also said some strange phrase that Depp would only communicate with her when his entourage was around. And the actress also claimed that Johnny Depp is often late for the set or does not come to the shooting at all. In addition to this, she allegedly had to cut out some of his dialogues because his French accent was not at the proper level, and he did not want to work on it with a dialogue coach. All this was written by a well-respected independent publication, and then this information was snatched up by all other resources. But suddenly it turned out just the other day that Maven herself was shocked by what she read. The actress now accuses the publication of distorting her words and putting Depp in a bad light. So Johnny's partner even hurried to give an interview to another reputable portal in Iraq to somehow explain herself. When I said Johnny was weird, I meant his charisma, his fame, his star status and so on, says Maven. I was shocked when I found out that the publication titled this article with the title "The Team Was Afraid of Johnny Depp." I would like to clarify the situation. John is not scary in the sense that his charisma and status as a king are impressive, she continued. I should have used the word impressive if I had known that journalist Charlotte W. Sullivan would use my words in such a malicious way. Director Jean Dubarry also claims that she should have been afraid of the interview from the very beginning. Because she was not asked about the film, but instead all the questions related to the personality of Johnny Depp. And clearly wanting to find something tricky and unflattering about the actor. So Johnny has enough detractors, and after his recent revelations, I think there will be even more of them, but I think you and I will respect the Hollywood old-timer even more, who still found the strength to push his opinion and his position. And not be carried out for even tens of millions of dollars. This is where we will finish for today. Who has something to add? Write your comments, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Well, take a look at our cart, there are even more interesting cinematic and serial news. Thank you all for watching, and bye to everyone.